because, there's like all of this kind of like excessive consumption, like people buying gifts because they feel like they need to. And, one of the things that we can really work on together is to be really mindful about what we're giving to people, what we're, expecting, like expectations are sometimes not our friends. And I just want to back up a moment and say that my name, I'm sorry, my camera's having a little trouble focusing, so this usually helps. Did it work? Um, so my name is Crispina French, and I am a textile upcycling artist, activist, entrepreneur, podcast host. I host a summit in April each year, and I was gift wrapping some stuff for my kids just a little bit ago, and I thought, oh my gosh, I should show other people how I do this. So I love to be creative and think of fun ways to kind of spice it up a little. So this is a package that I wrapped, um, and I used actually a silk shirt that I had in my stash of fabrics that I had thought I was going to use for something else, and I stitched it. I'm just going to try to actually hold it up. I'll hold it up for Instagram, and on the other platforms I'm on, I have this teaching camera, which is kind of cool. So if you are on either Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, you might be able to have a little bit more, um, you'll see what we're doing a little bit easier. So this whole package is all upcycled fabric. So I used a silk shirt, and then I used some t-shirts, and then some little fabric bits that I just had left over from some work I was doing. I would love to know. I'm going to unmute here. I would love to know if anybody on is anybody on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube? And if you're listening on those platforms, can you tell me whether or not you can hear me? Can you hear me? I'm having a little trouble with my connectivity today. We're having a terrible storm, so I just want to make sure that I'm not speaking into the wind, as they say. And over on Instagram, hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm going to teach you how to do my gift wrapping technique. So I have this blue little. It's like a cotton V-neck. It's like it's a sweater. Um, and again, if you're watching and you're really interested in learning this technique, the camera setup that I have on Facebook, LinkedIn, and um, YouTube right now is a little bit more conducive to learning the actual process. So let me see if I can actually make this camera get a little farther from what we're doing so you can kind of get more of a bird's eye view. There we go. Awesome. So here I'm laying out the garment flat. Okay, so I'm going to take, for anybody on Instagram, I'm going to lay this out flat on my table surface, and I'm going to take my rotary cutter, and I'm going to cut straight across the garment at about maybe a half an inch wide. And I am not a big measurer, so I'm going to cut across in a bunch of repeated strips, and I'm not going to cut all the way across. I'm going to leave a little bit connected. So if you're seeing the screen with the teaching camera, you'll see what I'm talking about. And if you're on Instagram, hang tight. I'm going to show you what this looks like in just a second, so you can kind of get a real clear idea of what I'm talking about. So this is a great way to make lots and lots of really pretty ribbon without adding plastic to the environment and without, needing to go out and buy anything. I've been listening to the news a little bit today, and it sounds to me like we're all kind of dealing with some pretty crazy weather, no matter where we're located in the United States. If anybody's listening from overseas, I hope you guys are having a nice warm up holiday. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so here's the top of the garment. Okay, and then the body of the garment I cut into all these strips, right? So it kind of looks like one of those like beaded curtains. That's not what we're going for, but this is how it's going to start. Okay, then we're going to take our handy dandy beautiful scissors, our nice fabric cutting scissors, and we're going to start at the bottom, And we're gonna just cut at an angle from the end of the edge of the fabric. I'm gonna put this down again on my, so my teaching camera can show it. And we're just gonna cut an angle into that first piece. Okay, so now we have this long piece because I cut an angle to free that up. Okay, okay, so then we're gonna do that on each from the cut from one to the next, and the next one's going to be kind of at an angle. And what this does is it allows us to have one continuous long piece of blue strips from this pretty colored little vest that I'm using to make ribbon. And for anybody who's watching on Instagram, so now this piece here, right? So we're making these long bits right here. And I feel like this room looks a little dark on camera, but I think we're just going to make it roll with it. We're going to roll with it. So does anybody have any questions? How are you guys doing out there? I hope if anybody, like, let me know, like, tell me what's up, you guys. Can you hear me okay? Are you following along? If you have any questions as we go, just holler out. If you catch this recording and you have questions later, just pop them in the comments and I'll get back to them. So for anybody on Instagram, I'm just going to hold this up so you can kind of see the technique. So I'm going to cut from one over to the other, and that's going to give me a length, okay? And then I'm going to do another one just to kind of show you again, right? So we're making this nice long piece of pretty blue ribbon, right? All right, so I got a couple more, and then we'll move on to the next part of our project here. All right, and then when, this came right up to the armpit of the garment, and out in another class, I'll show you what you can use this for, but right now we're just gonna go back to our nice long strip, and then I just roll it up like you're rolling up a ball of yarn so you can keep it from getting real tangly. And sometimes it's nice to stretch it because it'll kind of create that, it sort of rolls in on itself so that the raw edges are kind of protected. So as I'm rolling, I would like to know, where are you guys tuning in from? Where are you? Is it snowing like anything by you? Is it freezing cold? We've had this, like, I think it's kind of across the country right now. The cold, like it was very cold and it got warm and now it's getting really cold again. My daughters are outside blanketing up our horses because they were enjoying that warm reprieve from the cold weather this afternoon, and now it's back to being super chilly, so gotta bundle them up for the night too. So here we go. Like, we are no snow, just cold in Dallas. Hey, Reed. Oh, and Danny. Huge storm here in Maryland, 25-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, it's getting windy. And you guys, like, my family and I have had a pretty crazy last few weeks. I don't know. I haven't really shared too much about it, but I talked to my husband today. My husband is really not into, he's really, actually, are you still there? I think that somebody was just trying to, oh, darn, somebody was just trying to call me. And I'm not sure if you guys can actually hear me on Instagram, but I'm hoping that you can. If you just joined, please let me know if you're able to hear. This is happening now, Eric Stark, my buddy from kindergarten. It is, it's live right now. So if anybody, Eric, I don't know if you know, but my husband is a tree guy and he knows how to do all kinds of different things. He's a plumber, contractor, tree guy. And on the 28th of November, he was working and a tree fell on him. And he got really broken. But, most people hear that story and they think, oh my gosh, like, is he okay? Is he living? Is he going to make it? And yes, the answer is yes, he is living. He is going to make it. No, let's see. No, no spinal cord injury. No, no, no spinal cord injury, no brain injury, no internal organ injury. So holy crap, poof, that just everything about it could have been 100 times worse. But it has been a little bit tricky to navigate the last couple of weeks with that added thing to our holidays. So today I want to show you how to create this cool gift wrap that is completely made from recycled clothing. So I'm going to keep moving kind of quick here because I see that my battery is running down. So I have this really pretty silk shirt that I'm never going to wear this, you guys. I'm just not going to. So I've had it for a very long time, and I'm going to take the bottom and I'm going to cut straight across, and I'm going to create a nice big, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the back of it out. And I'm going to show if you are on the platforms that are able to see my teaching camera, you are lucky. And I'm going to show the rest of the folks over on Instagram. You can't see my teaching camera, but I will show you what I am doing just as soon as I can. So I'm cutting up the side seams. If you're on, if you can see me, that's cool. I'm just going to cut right up the side seams here on the garment. And then I'm going to just kind of look at it and see, like, how big is this piece of fabric going to be? And we're going to wrap this really super funny coloring book that I got from my daughter that's called Fuck Off, I'm Still Coloring. And if you knew my daughter, you'd know how appropriate this is. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to cut straight across from one armpit to the other. And that's going to give us enough of a piece of wrapping paper, if you will, that will be perfect for this particular gift. And the thing about this type of gift wrap is that when you're all said and done, you're going to take it and reuse it so that next year at the holidays, when you want to do some gift wrapping, you will have the same gift wrap to use, and you might build some fun memories around what that was used for in prior years. So here we go. This is what the fabric looks like for those of you on the Instagram. Okay, so we have this nice big piece of beautiful silk fabric. Sorry, I just inhaled a piece of that beautiful silk fabric. I'm not even kidding. Anyways, don't do that. Whew. All right. Seriously, Luke, could you grab me a glass of water? I think that it went down the wrong pipe or something. All right. So then, when I do gift wrapping, I like to fold that edge over the cut edge. And we're just going to use that same sort of technique with the fabric. Excuse me. All right. Then I'm going to grab my giant box full of tangle of embroidery floss, which is here. And I'm just going to pull out some kind of cool, I like to use a nice contrasting color, mainly so you guys can see it, but also because then the person who receives the gift can also see it. And when we're doing this step, we want to keep in mind that, someone's going to be unwrapping this gift. And so we want to make nice large stitches. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Lucy, my daughter. She just brought me water. Oh my goodness. So, that's so much better. Thank you, Lucy. All right, so I'm going to cut a piece that's like, I don't know, maybe a couple feet long, 2 feet. You can use smaller pieces for this as well, so that you can use up stuff that you might have kicking around. If you have, you can use any kind. You can use yarn, you can use thread, whatever you got. I happen to have a bunch of embroidery floss here. And I'm going to just begin with a knot. And again, those people who have the ability to see my teaching camera are probably getting a little bit more of this than the folks over on the Instagram. One day, maybe Instagram will figure out how to play nice with others but at the moment. It's a very singular kind of platform. You can't really incorporate it with other streaming services. So that's why it's the difference is what we're dealing with at the moment. And let's see, I just set that off. Okay, so we're just gonna make some nice big stitches in the fabric. So this is gonna be like, now instead of your Scotch tape roll, you can just do this. And I wanted to just also share about, I started sharing a little bit about my husband. And hey, Renee, I see Renee. Renee has a husband who also got hurt recently, so I know how it is, girl. Um, so yeah, so Chris, my husband, is gonna come home. He's been in the hospital for 3.5 weeks. He broke his back. He broke his 12 ribs. He shattered his ankle. He What else did he break? Oh, his scapula, his clavicle, surgery on his clavicle, surgery on his ankle, um, 7 vertebrae in his back are broken. And he's doing great. He's healing like you cannot believe. So, yeah, just, there's a lot of tree damage right now out there. So if you guys are not professional tree guys, even if you are professional tree guys, just use extra caution. Really, really be careful because, my husband is like the king of like caution, the caution king. And he, still got hurt. So you want to, if you don't have the expertise, please let someone who does do the work. And also just take the extra time it takes to make sure that you're not putting yourself or your friends in danger out there. Okay, so here's my stitch for anyone. Okay, so now you can see it up close and personal. Okay, now rather than tying a knot or making it hard for the person to unwrap, I'm just going to leave that tail hanging right here. Okay, cool. All right, and so then they can just kind of unpick it. I still have that. I don't know what it is. I sucked it in. Okay. So then we're gonna just go with the flow. You're gonna kind of do the same thing you would do with paper, just kind of fold those ends over, and we're gonna stitch those down in place too. And I don't want to take too much of your time because I know this is a really busy day for everybody. But um, is everybody doing okay? Like you get this? Like this is just a really fun way to make your gifts super um, creative. And this is the one gift that I was showing you guys earlier, but I also have this one that I did, and you can use fabric stashes that you might have. Bandanas work really nicely. Fabric napkins, and then you're kind of encouraging people to not only think about alternative types of gift wrap, but also oh, a bandana. Well, you could use that for, a tissue for your nose or for the winter if you're cold. You could use it for a napkin. You could just use it for gift wrap another time. So when you're giving gifts that are wrapped in this manner, not only is it super fun to create like I had a lot of fun making these for my daughters. So that's really fun. It's a creative way to do it, and there's zero waste because this is going to be stuff you can reuse year after year. And if you're wrapping with like a napkin or a bandana, of course you don't have to wait until the next time the holiday season rolls around to reuse that fabric. So, if you're oh sorry, I just bumped the camera. If you're using if you're encouraging people to use the material sooner, you might want to finish the edges if it's a raw cut that you're using. If you're, you can roll the edge, make a nice little napkin for somebody. Or if it's just more of a, you want to get it done and it's kind of late and you're not getting things ready for the holidays and you got to kind of keep moving, you can just do that and it's just as easy. Just cut it, the fabric. You can let them roll the edge later, or you could do that for them at another time. So thank you everybody for joining me. I hope you all have the best relaxing and fun next couple of days. And thank you, thank you, thank you for all of the people who have just supported my business in whatever way that that you have in the last year, and I look forward to staying connected with you in the future. So, um, honestly, it's such a pleasure to have this opportunity to connect with you this way, and I just wish you all the most the most fun and exciting and um, peaceful and environmentally conscious holidays that is possible. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you on Tuesday when I do my live streams at 2:30 in the afternoon. So, and actually, this coming up Tuesday, my husband's coming home on Wednesday. I have a bunch of appointments to have that happen. So, if for some reason I am not live with you this Tuesday, rest assured, it's not because I don't want to be. It's because other things are taking precedent, which I'm super excited about. So, um, just put that on your calendar. Tuesdays at 2:30. You can catch a live stream where I teach different little tricks and tips about how to be environmentally conscious with textiles and clothing and ways to reuse, buy quality, and just use the fabrics that are around you to serve you in ways that you might not have thought about on your own. Hey, Eric Clark. You know, James Eric Clark says on his Facebook, but to me, James Eric Clark is Eric Clark because he and I grew up together and we share a lot of common things that are connecting us, our families together, and it's just so nice to have that connection, Eric. So give my love to Dana and your daughter, and I hope you all just have such a lovely day together. Thanks, everybody. Bye.